Let's move ahead and explore how the xargs command works. The xargs command, before we start using it, let us go through its man page first. Basically, man pages gives us more detailed information about any command. It should be a normal practice for you as well, that if you get to see any new command, or if you're using or getting confused about any command, first of all, you should just go to the man page, explore a bit, and get a proper understanding of what the command does, how the command syntax looks like, and then only you can start working on that command. Coming back to the xargs command, the description says that the xargs command is used to build and execute command lines from the standard input. So what happens is, some commands like the grep command that we saw, they are able to accept input as parameters only. But commands like xargs will only accept arguments. Okay, a bit confused? So let me start with the cat command again, fruits.txt. Now, if I just pass this command to echo, what is going to happen? We know that echo takes standard input. Okay, so will echo be able to take the standard input from fruits.txt and display the entire data? Fruits.txt, we know there are some 85, 83 fruit names listed in that text file. So will echo take that as a parameter and display the entire data? That is my question to you. Just pause the video, think about it, come back again so that we can continue. I hope you have thought well about the answer. So let me press enter and show you that no data will be displayed. So what just happened? The output from command 1 was passed as a standard input to echo, but it could not get executed because echo wants some kind of arguments to be provided. So the standard input need to be converted into a command line argument. So for that, we will be using xargs command over here. So when I'm using xargs, so the standard output from the command 1, which is standard input for the other command across the pipeline, so that standard input will be processed by xargs and it will be converted into a command line, or you can say it as an argument, and supplied to the other command. Now when I press enter, echo will actually get those parameters and the name of the fruits will be displayed. You can see it over here. Let us understand this xargs concept a bit more. I will be using the date command. What the date command does, it simply prints the date and time of present day. Okay. Now if I pass the date command across the pipe to echo, what is going to happen? Again, echo is not getting the argument that it is supposed to work on. So that is why it is giving me a blank answer, right? So for that, I'll be using xargs to convert the output of date command into an argument and supply it to echo. So now when echo gets the argument, it will display the output as it is onto the screen. Now, if I want to redirect this output to a file, I'll just do date.txt and it will be redirected to a file called date.txt. I can read date.txt. Here it is. Now it is totally on you that how more you experiment with these commands so that you learn or understand these commands better. I'll show you an example to just tweak it. I'll be using echo and then today is, that's all. And I'll press enter. So what is going to happen is, this is the standard input for echo. Okay, so I'm giving this standard input. However, xargs will also supply echo some kind of arguments. So my standard input and the extra arguments supplied by xargs will be combined together and it will be redirected to date.txt. I press enter. Now if I read the contents of date.txt, this is what is there. Since I'm using the double redirection symbol, it is appending and not truncating. I hope you remember this concept from the first tutorial of redirection. So the output of this command is today is and today's date and time. Since this tutorial is about piping and redirection, let me come back again and explain you the piping theory with some more example very quickly. So I have created on my desktop a file called delete.txt. If you can notice it over here. I'll show you the contents afterwards. First, let me just delete this car.txt file. Since I'm already covering this deletion and working with files and directories in other sections, I'll just introduce you a command called rm. So this rm command is for remove. Okay, so I'll be using rm car.txt. When I press enter, you just notice that this is going to vanish now. And it's no more over here onto the desktop. Now what happens if I have to delete hundreds of files? Am I going to write rm and file name again, or just put 100 commas and give the file names? No, there's a shortcut to it. So now I'll show you the content of the delete.txt file. I have created this file and all the text files which are there onto my keyboard. I'm just mentioning it here. I'll add date.txt as well since it was newly created. Okay, so all these files are here as an input for the other command. Okay, now when I do cat delete.txt, okay, so I'll be reading the contents from delete.txt file. I'll pass it to xargs so that it gets converted into command line. So each line will get executed one by one. Okay, each line, each input will be passed on to the rm command as a standard argument. Okay, now when I press enter, what is going to happen is all these files will be deleted one by one. Okay, so you just notice when I press enter, all these files which were named over here are gone. Now when I do ls, you can see only delete.txt file which I'm using right now, fruits.txt. So I don't want to delete it because I know that I'm going to use this fruits.txt file to explain concepts still in this tutorials. Output.txt I can delete. All these files can be deleted again. So I believe that was a lot about piping, redirection, grep command, xargs, less, more, and so many commands that we learned in the last few tutorials. I'm very sure that things are very clear to you, and it was a very good learning journey about the piping and redirection concepts. So I'll end this video over here and I'll take up again in the next tutorial with you, along with the new chapter and new concepts regarding aliases in Linux operating system.